As the industry has developed and matured, more and more video games are allowing gamers to play as the anti-heroes, or even sometimes the all-out villains. Considering the popularity of game series like Grand Theft Auto, God of War and Lassie the video game, it seems like everyone just feels so good when being so bad. Traditionally, video games have put us in the shoes of the hero. Even today, the majority of games will see players striving to rescue a character in need or saving a world from destruction. Boring, am I right? I mean, f*** the world, what's it done for you? It's way more fun to destroy than rebuild, right? But what if I were to tell you that even the most goody of two shoes can be seen in a villainous light? Well, wonder no more, you ham planets, for 'tis I, Jules for WhatCulture.com, with 10 famous gaming heroes you didn't realise were the villains. Number 10, Pac-Man. Crimes, torture, invasion of property. At first it might seem like Pac-Man is pretty justified in his actions. I mean, he's trapped in this dark maze with a bunch of ghosts that are trying to kill him. Of course he's justified in turning around and just killing them right back, right? But wait a minute, why is Pac-Man even there? The ghosts seem to be the ones that actually belong there, as they have a special room just for them in the middle. From the looks of it then, they're just the protectors of whatever the white balls are, be it pills or pellets or ghost eggs. And think about it, when Pac-Man becomes all big and scary, he turns around and eats the ghosts. And the ghosts can't die, meaning that Pac-Man can just munch on these poor spirits over and over. He's a sadistic yellow monster. Number 9, Mario. Crime, genocide. Mario is your typical video game hero. A plucky everyman, he bravely traverses strange worlds in order to rescue a princess from a terrifying beast, all the while keeping his pedo tash perfectly intact. Of course, over the majority of the Mario games, the titular hero crushes the skulls of thousands of creatures. Often these creatures won't even actively attempt to attack Mario, they're just roaming about minding their own business until a red plumber stomps them to death. And his reasoning behind why he does this is incredibly poor, barraging through castles in an attempt to smash some cake, if you know what I mean. In many cases, Mario doesn't even bother to research whether or not he's at the right castle, making the mass murder of the preceding level even more pointless. Number 8, Link. Crimes, larceny, destruction of property, killing of wildlife. That's right, the guy who saved Hyrule multiple times is a villain, a nasty anti-hero at best. Sure, he's defeated plenty of evil characters and ensured the survival of countless people, but Link is also a grade A douche with a serious ego problem. He might be running around defeating Dark Lords, but Link doesn't have two morals to rub together. If Link weren't the kingdom's savior, he'd be right at the very top of Hyrule's most wanted, thanks to his despicable criminal habits. Throughout his journey, Link repeatedly walks straight into people's houses and steals everything that isn't nailed down. Even if there's nothing to take this devious adventurer will happily smash every pot in sight. He also has no qualms about killing off local wildlife, from chickens to innocent cave lizards. These are endangered, Link. Number 7, Kirby. Crime, almost dooming the world. Kirby is already a pretty creepy character thanks to his nasty habit of swallowing enemies whole in order to absorb their abilities. And in the popular NES game Kirby's Adventure, he became a villain that endangered the entire world. The premise of the game and motivation for Kirby's adventure in the first place is that King Dedede has stolen the Star Rod, an object of great power and new nickname for my penis, and then shattered it into 6 pieces. Ow, my penis. After King Dedede gives a piece to each of his mightiest warriors, Kirby goes out of the way to kill all of them in order to take each piece and rebuild the rod. It turns out that King Dedede actually broke the staff in order to keep it out of the hands of the properly evil no-good Nick Nightmare. And all was going well until Kirby came along and ruined it all and practically delivered the powerful Star Rod into the hands of Nightmare, totally thwarting the heroic King Dedede and his noble plans. Number 6, Samus. Crimes, killing children and their protective mothers. Considering Samus gets so attached to her Metroid lover, she has a remarkable lack of respect for other forms of alien life. During her bloodthirsty rampage to recover the stolen Metroid from space pirates, Samus exterminates hundreds of life forms that were probably more scared of her than she was of them. The most shocking example takes place during one of the earliest boss encounters though, when Samus is, air quotes, attacked by a gigantic lizard creature. In the previous screen, Samus had gunned down a much smaller creature of the same species with no issue. It can then only be assumed that this was actually the giant lizard's offspring, and the resulting attack was an understandable reaction towards somebody that just killed one of your children. Oh, Samus, I thought you were different. Number 5, Sub-Zero. Crime, murdering an entire family. Okay, Sub-Zero isn't exactly a hero, at least not in the same way that others are on this list. With regards to the whole Sub-Zero-Scorpion rivalry though, he's generally perceived as the least villainous of the two. It's since been retconned in later Mortal Kombat games, but there used to be a very understandable reason behind Scorpion's hatred. Originally, the backstory was that Scorpion's entire family and clan were murdered by Sub-Zero, with Scorpion then going on to fight him in order to get his vengeance. While neither are likely to get the Nobel Peace Prize anytime soon, Sub-Zero is clearly the worst of the two. Number 4, Red and Blue. Crimes, forcing wild animals to fight and preventing the capture of a deadly escaped creature. If you look at the first Pokemon games outside of the context of the television series and other media that emerged following its incredible popularity, the premise is positively barbaric. Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably familiar with the idea, in that most people leave home at a young age in order to capture wild creatures in order to battle with them and become a renowned Pokemon trainer. But the Pokemon aren't like the animals that we have in our universe. They're clearly presented as mostly intelligent, self-aware beings. Rather than treating them like equals, though, the humans naturally invent special balls that trap Pokemon in a tight space that make them fight each other for nothing more than entertainment. All of this is bad enough, but the player character also prevents Team Rocket from trying to correct their past mistakes. Giovanni, in attempting to create the most powerful Pokemon ever, accidentally creates Mewtwo, who subsequently escapes. Team Rocket trying to get their hands on the Master Ball in order to capture Mewtwo and save the world, but the plucky trainer ends up ruining everything and probably uses it on a bloody Abra. Number 3. Nathan Drake. Crime. Mass murder. Nathan Drake is an almost irresistibly likable character. Outgoing, witty and good-looking, Drake is the video game equivalent of Indiana Jones. Therefore, it seems like a bit of a contradiction for him to be a bloodthirsty, homicidal maniac. The argument could be made that just about everyone he kills is some sort of criminal or mercenary, but wait a minute, isn't Nathan Drake exactly that? Sure, he might generally be pitted against more villainous lawbreakers than himself, but he isn't really in the moral position to be passing judgment. Drake certainly isn't justified in gunning down thousands of men across his journey. Despite this, he seems to have absolutely no qualms about murdering them by the dozen. Number 2. Crash Bandicoot. Crime. Mass genocide. When we meet Crash Bandicoot in the first game in the series, he's just escaped a lab in the middle of a desert island. As is quickly made apparent, it seems that Dr. Neo Cortex was wise in keeping his insane creation locked away. In an effort to rescue his girlfriend, Crash journeys through a multitude of different environments across the island, and along the way he encounters a number of innocent critters, from silly monkeys to harmless skunks, which he proceeds to murder violently. Whether a sleeping tortoise is blocking his way or he just needs to jump on a cute penguin's head in order to reach an apple, Crash Bandicoot shows no remorse as he spins and stomps his way through the game. Number 1. You. Crimes everything. Okay, we all knew this was coming. The showdown between you and I. You know how I feel about you, and I assume that you hate me because I don't sound like Adam Plumpier. But listen up. You're a monster. It's you who controlled all of these heroes as they went on their nefarious ways, unquestionably accepting the reasoning behind their senseless slaughter and criminal activity. It was you who murdered all those baby Koopas in Mario. It was you who broke into the homes of hundreds of people in every RPG. And need I bring up The Sims? Those poor Sims! There's a good chance that your virtual body count extends into the hundreds of thousands, making you the worst video game villain of all time, no matter how many times you like to think of yourself as the hero. You disgust me. And that's our list. Can you think of any more heroes that were more villainous than me at an all-you-can-kick baby event? Well, drop us a message in the comment section below. And if you want to feel bad about yourself, then you can come and chat to me here and here. If you enjoyed the video, then like, share and subscribe for more. I've been Jules for WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.